to SCP from Zero Futurism. Huge shout out to Zero Futurism because we use them in like almost every single link. They do look the perfect background sound for just a casual reading reading SCP stream.
Oh man, it's so aptly named.
Yeah. Convenient. I'm gonna open Roblox.
I should hunt you down like a dog.
Stream settings.
Considering as you did that, I felt the stream stutter.
Why?
I don't know.
So
It's still here, it's fine.
Today is Saturday, right?
Yes?
Alright, cool. I was like pretty sure.
No, it's Sunday. Where the fuck were you yesterday?
Accident.
So we already read this one, however.
Remember when we used to read SCPs?
No.
Back in the day.
That's never happened before, Helix. What are you talking about? My god. What was that thing I told you to not do? Rush setting up stream?
Can you use the grow your own castle kit in a swamp? I don't remember. We read this, like... We read this once. Not last Saturday, but it was Saturday before that. And then we determined shortly after reading it, like halfway into the next article, that the SCP stream wasn't going to do well that day. Simply because Kelly's internet was choppy. So we'll be reading it again this time because I'm not going to be uploading the VOD that has like 1.5 SCPs on it.
Yeah.
I'm still just biding time for that 5-minute ad break, if no one can tell.
No.
You mean like Fortnite grenade? What? What are you talking about?
The fuck?
What? Also, I'm thinking about ordering 2 new Wii remotes with Wii Motion Plus in them, so that way whenever somebody comes over, I can play fucking Wii games with them.
Okay.
I think that could be fun. Oh, Kaylee came over today for the Pokemon Go Community Day, and we picked out a Wii game to play, and it ended up being like Ultimate I Spy. It kind of sucked. Like, the I Spy was like whatever, but like when you start the game, there's like a whole like a couple minute long section where you just need to turn a crank to power a machine, and that took so long for us to figure out what exactly it wanted us to do, because it wanted us to go like faster than we were going, and so it kept like disconnecting. But it was like so weird and unnecessary for an I Spy game. Referencing Monty Python, guy builds 3 castles in a swamp and they all sink, but the 4th one stays up. Why'd the 4th one stay up? Now I'm interested. Why?
Presumably because he built on top of the other previous castles.
If there's just enough castle that sinks into the swamp, it just eventually becomes like stable enough ground.
Yep, them's the rules. I need to rewatch Holy Grail. also Life of Brian.
Oh. Is the
That's
ad
the number
over
we're
yet?
on. Oh, fucking no.
322? Yeah. 323? Yeah, that's about the order we plan on going in.
Oh god. They've started counting.
What? No. Oh my gosh. Oh.
You just wake up?
No.
Hmm.
I did wake up a bit early so that I could, like, you know, clean up before Kelly got here. And then I walked around for, like, 2 hours. I'm pissed because I keep trying to set up this route in Pokemon Go, and it keeps labeling it as unsafe. And I think the only thing that's causing it to say that is because it crosses a bridge that has traffic on it. But the bridge has sidewalks on the side for people to walk on. And that's the only reason it just auto flags as, hey, this isn't good. And I'm pissed off because it's a good route. Hell, we have another route that literally just goes the whole way around town and follows roads the entire time. It does cross the main road once, which is something you're not supposed to do. It's not supposed to cross main roads, but it still got fucking validated for some reason. Residential roads are completely fair game. Oh, my fucking webcam. Anyway, the ad break is over. We can start reading now. You want to just follow the same scheme as last time?
We had a scheme last time?
I read this one, you read next one.
That's kind of just... Okay, sure.
Good night. Okay. I'm so yippy today.
Oh man, I should go to bed.
Item number SCP-322. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-322 is to be contained in a secure locker in Storage Unit 3. SCP-322 can be utilized for certain missions or for research, but a full-length proposal must be submitted and accepted. Descriptions. SCP-322 is a cardboard box, 60 centimeters in width, 30 centimeters in height, and 15 centimeters in depth, with the words "Grow Your Own Castle Kit" and a stylized cartoon similar to those in circulation in the 1950s. The box contains a small, very simple pamphlet and a glass jar filled with large grains of sand. The pamphlet states a simple set of instructions that, when followed correctly, will produce a large castle. An exact transcript of the manual is as follows. Hey there, kiddo! So you want your own castle, but you don't want to waste your time imagining one? Then this is the kit for you. All you have to do is plant one of the specially made castle seeds somewhere where there's a lot of free space, such as a field under 3 feet of dirt. Having trouble digging that all by yourself, son? Then convince an adult to help by promising him vassalage over some of your soon-to-be kingdom. The next step is just as easy, but just as important. All you have to do is make sure you water your castle every day at 12 o'clock for 7 days. That's a week, and make sure you do it too, otherwise it won't work, and then you're back at square one. Make sure you follow all the steps, and you should have your very own castle in just 7 days. Pretty nifty, huh, sport? When these directions are followed, the result is a large stone fortress, including an inner keep, a courtyard, and outer wall, in the location that the seeds were planted. Placing more than one seed increases the size of the castle twofold per extra seed planted, and the styles, Romanesque, Baroque, Gothic, Kremlin, Chiro, et al., depend on the color of the seed that was planted. On rare occasions when a castle has formed, there is already a staff of servants utterly dedicated to the original planter, although they are often inhuman in appearance. While no conclusive link between the two has been discovered, SCP-2448 is notably similar in that it is a castle that occasionally manifests humanoid denizens. Additional notes. The object was found in Orlando, Florida in 19 redacted, in the hands of someone trying to turn it into an amusement park. The item was confiscated and the person in question had their memory purged. It is interesting to see had their memory purged instead of like
Yeah, it
administered
feels like this was
amnestics.
also a pretty early one.
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least by someone who was newer to the scene at the time.
Yeah. That's not what I meant to do. We're not on 2000 yet. There we go. The Wendigo skull! Yay!
Let's fucking go. One second. Alright. Item number SCP-323. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-323 is to be kept in a 17 by 17 by 17 meter concrete containment cell in Site-91. The object is to be restrained in the center of the cell within a 1 meter cubed container of 8.8 centimeter thick transparent armor lines with one laminate, which is to be fit with one electronically locked access port. This container is to be internally lit with the surrounding cell kept dimmer to facilitate the one-way laminate. The cell is to be surveyed remotely at all times, and any signs of activity are to be reported. That's right, I had a slight fit over how needlessly specific it was about how fucking thick the glass is. No personnel are to enter SCP-323's containment cell except to examine the integrity of SCP-323's restraint measures. Restraint measures are to be examined bi-weekly and any signs of damage are to be repaired immediately. All personnel who enter SCP-323's containment cell are to be accompanied by an armed guard. Personnel are not to be within SCP-323's containment cell for longer than 45 minutes, and any communication around SCP-323 is to be written or spoken in a language other than English or French. In the event that SCP-323 breaches containment and an instance of SCP-323-1 is formed, personnel are to evacuate Site-91 and the site is to be locked down. Remote units are to be deployed to destroy the body of SCP-321-1. Following this, armed personnel may be sent in to re-establish the containment of SCP-323. Description: SCP-323 is the skull of an unidentified cervid measuring 55 centimeters long, 27 centimeters wide, and 31 centimeters tall, with a pair of antlers measuring 35 centimeters tall and 46 centimeters from tip to tip, growing from the left and right sides of SCP-323. SCP-323 shows signs of damage consistent with outside exposure, with regular pitting, scarring, and weathering across the object, bleaching on the upper surfaces, and a missing lower mandible. The rear of the skull features an approximately centered ovoid gap measuring 25 centimeters in height and 23 centimeters wide, giving access to an interior space 16 centimeters deep. This gap shows signs of tool use, indicating that it was carved with tools, possibly stone. He looks at you. Thank you. SCP-323 displays the ability to react to oral, tactile, and visual stimuli. Testing has revealed SCP-323 appears to have a field of view similar to that of other cervids and has responded to visual stimuli from up to 50 centimeters away. Testing of specific members of personnel, various attempts to breach containment, and the violent reaction towards speakers of the French and English language suggest a level of sapience. However, this is unconfirmed. SCP-323 is capable of limited locomotion, typically in the form of small movements and vibrations. In most cases, SCP-323 will only locomote in the event of various stimuli, such as moving away when touched or turning when personnel are present within its containment chamber. SCP-323 has demonstrated the ability to make larger movements, such as lunging at personnel and repeatedly attempting to force its way through containment measures. SCP-323 exerts an influential force an influential effect in a radius extending roughly 15 meters from itself. Individuals within this radius will begin experiencing cannibalistic thoughts and urges, violent outbursts, and impaired judgment after approximately 1 hour of continuous exposure. Roughly 74% of individuals who reach this point will attempt to place their heads through the gap present in the back of SCP-323, with efforts made to keep their mouths uncovered. If an individual is incapable of fitting their heads through the gap, attempts will be made to bludgeon their heads against nearby hard surfaces until the point the individual's head fits. The individual loses consciousness, or the individual expires. Once the individual has fit their head through SCP-323, the individual is classified as SCP-323-1. Within 10 minutes of putting SCP-323 on, SCP-323-1 will undergo drastic physical alterations. -1 will experience a rapid loss of body fat, body hair, and pigmentation, followed by the rupturing of the distal phalanges from the fingertips, abnormal tooth growth, and the blackening of extremities consistent with frostbite. Additionally, -1 appears to experience greater strength and pain tolerance than the average human. However, -1 still appears to be as susceptible to physical harm as it was prior to its introduction to SCP-323. SCP-323-1's metabolism will experience a drastic increase requiring a constant caloric intake, with starvation occurring anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes if no self-preservation efforts are made. In order to sustain its increased metabolism, SCP-323-1 will actively seek out and eat other individuals for sustenance until expiration. In the event -1 is incapable of finding plentiful nourishment, -1 will make efforts to sustain itself, including limited movements, rationing available food, and auto-cannibalism. -1 will only feed upon humans. It is presumed that -1 is capable of receiving sustenance from other sources, but chooses not to, despite availability or ease of access. During the pursuit of individuals, -1 has been known to occasionally make various statements in the Severan, Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Cree languages, as well as in the native languages of the instance. It is not known if these statements and the knowledge of these languages is a result of SCP-223's anomalous influence or if they originate from SCP-323 itself. Alright. The following audio log has been transcribed from surveillance records during the 11-906 containment breach of SCP-323, which resulted in the death of 12 personnel members before containment could be re-established. No accompanying video surveillance could be restored.
Would you like to just take this whole one, or do you want me to read the SCP and you read the voices?
Helix, you're subhuman.
Hungry. So hungry.
The sound of dragging can be heard as SCP-323-1's voice becomes louder.
I must eat. So very hungry. Always, always hungry.
Several thumps can be heard, followed by a wet crack.
Must not eat. I have to eat. So hungry. So lonely.
What is presumed to be SCP-323-1 eating can be heard, accompanied by what sounds like panting.
Alone. Hungry. Should eat. Must eat them all. I must eat to know warmth.
SCP-323-1 creates a loud vocalization followed by a wet thump.
So cold. Must eat.
SCP-323 was recovered on 9/12/97 in the Bitterns Lake Preserve, part of the Lac La Ronge First Nation in Saskatchewan, Canada. A small, unregistered community had been sustaining an active SCP-323-1 instance by routinely murdering individuals and leaving them out as appeasement. Investigation revealed redacted individuals were involved who were interviewed and subsequently administered amnestics. A cover story involving an unidentified serial killer was propagated. Why? Okay.
I mean, what else would they have done? Killed them all?
They have the resources to take the SD class.
Oh.
They were actively feeding people to it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it was anomalous. They don't really know if... I mean, I guess that's no reason to just let them go if they don't really know.
We don't know what kind of people they were feeding to it.
They were feeding people to it, but still, it was a fucking Wendigo that would have eaten them instead. You know how many cults we've got? Okay, this is dumb.
Yeah, and cultists are free food.
Let's just keep going.
Anyways. SCP-323-1, at the time suspected to be the anomaly, died of starvation during its transfer to SP2 Site-91. The recorded number of deaths does not appear consistent with the duration of the SCP-323-1 instance. In It is suspected SCP-323 went through several instances of SCP-323-1 before containment. However, no irrefutable evidence supporting SCP-323-1's longevity has been uncovered. That's a hell of a last name.
A Namagoose.
Interview A. James Namagoose, an individual involved in the murders and sustaining of SCP-323-1 prior to its containment, was brought in for questioning involving SCP-323-1. Mr. Namagoose remained unusually calm throughout and after the interview. Following the interview and containment of SCP-323, Mr. Namagoose was administered amnestics and was reintroduced to his community.
So, who's who?
I'll take James.
Was that Namagoose? Okay, yeah.
Yes,
I was trying to see where it said
blind
it
bastard.
because I couldn't remember. Okay.
I said his name.
You did, and okay, it's right there as well. Oh, okay. Please state your name for the record.
James Namagoose.
Please state your involvement with the murders.
I helped move the bodies for the Wendigo to eat.
What do you know about the object?
There's a story of the Kree Man, back when fighting was common, who tried to control the Wendigo, to give his people an advantage. It was just a story. The elders knew more, but we were safe, so we didn't ask.
When did you first encounter the entity?
One night I heard yelling all around the village. A warped man walked out of the woods, killed our friends right in front of us. Sometimes it would stare more than it would make to kill. What the fuck? It'd stare more than it would make to kill. Try to talk to you. It whispered at me, "Pipisto. Come and eat." It made me cold in my bones.
And then?
I felt like I could understand the warped man, the Wendigo, and that we could leave with him like we all do when we pass. When I was made to kill, I thought of this and it calmed me. I didn't run. It would look at me sometimes. I could hear him in my mind. I could feel him watching me from out of my own eyes. This helped me watch these people die, and I hoped it would pass on my family.
Thank you, Mr. Namagoose.
Final note. No mental effects similar to what Mr. Namagoose stated have yet to be reported by staff who have interacted with SCP-323 or -1. Further investigations into this is not planned, however. Staff are encouraged to report any atypical thoughts or feelings experienced while working with either.
I do like this one. It is a really good article.
Yeah.
I can see why it's as popular as it is. This is just good. It's a good SCP.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to fuck up the concept of a Wendigo, but
That is true.
Good way.
Wendigos are just kind of badass. Just like innately. Item number SCP-324. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. While SCP-324 does not require efforts beyond basic botanical maintenance to thrive, access to its products are to be strictly controlled to prevent theft and possible uncontrolled cultivation. SCP-324 is to be contained within a secure solarium or equivalent agricultural facility and a minimum of 5 cubic meters of soil. Soil should be maintained at a consistent pH of between 4 and 4.5 with a minimum 12% humus or similar organic compound component to topsoil. A misting system or other remote means of watering should be implemented to minimize the number of staff with access to SCP-324. You're finally done with a Necron collection? Congrats, dude. Jesus. I'm hyped for the new Lotus Atoll Island, honestly. SCP-324 is currently held at Site 23, Solarium 16, Bay 194 under these conditions. As on-site research staff already has access to specialized botanical testing equipment and methodologies via the containment of SCP-038, transfer of SCP-324 to another facility is subject to Level 4 approval. Products of SCP-324, designated 324-1, may be transferred between research staff as necessary with Level 3 approval. To maintain SCP-324 as the only mature specimen during initial research, attempts to cultivate further specimens from SCP-324-1 off-site are currently suspended. Description: SCP-324 is a small evergreen shrub currently 1.4 meters in height and possessing a complex root system that extends approximately 2.5 meters below the soil. Leaves are lanceolate, ranging between 4 to 6 centimeters in width. During the flowering phase, SCP-324 produces small, white flowers with 9 petals. Berries produced by SCP-324 are designated SCP-324-1 and appear pinkish-white in color with diameters between 9 and 14 millimeters. Berries are edible, with flavor reportedly tart and mildly sweet. SCP-324's flowering and berry-producing phase are apparently only initiated by the introduction of a deceased mammal of at least 25 kilograms into its soil. The mammal must be within range of SCP-324's root system and been deceased no longer than 3 days at the time of its first contact with SCP-324. If these conditions are met, the flowering phase will begin within 16 hours of introduction. The mature flowers and SCP-324-1 appearing within 75 hours. When eaten, each individual sample of SCP-324-1 will produce a vivid sensory experience reenacting a seemingly random memory of the deceased ant mammal's life in the consumer of SCP-324-1. In tests with human cadavers buried in SCP-324's soil, consumers of SCP-324-1 report clear oral and visual impressions including specific locations, conversations, and individuals. The consumer of SCP-324-1 appears to experience the deceased memory as if it was one of their own, but recognizes it as a product of another mind. In tests featuring animal cadavers, consumers of SCP-324-1 report an overwhelming jumble of sensory input devoid of the usual narrative context produced by human thought. Each experience lasts between 2 and 4 minutes before it subsides. If multiple samples of SCP-324-1 are ingested at one time, but memories experienced proceed one at a time, each with a 2 to 4 minute window. SCP-324 produces SCP-324-1 for approximately 1 week regardless of the type or mass of deceased mammal introduced into its soil. After this period has elapsed, all samples of SCP-324-1 wither and become inert until another deceased mammal is accessed by the root system. Animals incapable of creating memories or lacking memories of their own, such as subjects of SCP-909, likewise produce inert samples of SCP-324-1. Discovery: SCP-324 was discovered in a small cemetery specializing in natural, coffinless, non-preservational burial in rural Redacted County, New Hampshire. The groundskeeper, a Mr. DeClan Redacted, would regularly transplant SCP-324 to the graves of the newly deceased and invite surviving family members to partake of SCP-324-1 for a substantial fee. The scheme was discovered inadvertently when Agent Redacted attended services at the cemetery for his deceased Redacted. Upon a demonstration of SCP-324-1's effects, Agent Redacted immediately took both Mr. Redacted, debriefed for 19 Redacted, assigned D-Class, and SCP-324 into Foundation custody. Mr. Redacted claimed the shrub had been on the grounds when they were purchased in 19 Redacted and knew nothing further of its origins. Addendum: Experiment Logs 324 through 42.4 through 45.2. SCP-324-1. Consumer: male, D-Class, age 56. Soil input: human, female. Age 34 at time of death. Deceased for 2 days. Experience report: D67, placid for duration of experience. Recounts an afternoon picnic from the perspective of a small female child, including impressions of flying a kite and eating a celery stalk with peanut butter and raisins. -1 consumer, female, D-Class, 58, age 34. Soil input: chimpanzee, female, age 44 at time of death, deceased 3 days. Experience report: D58 thrashes wildly for the duration of the experience, making gestures as if to ward off an attacker. recounts impression of being assaulted by multiple individuals uttering high-pitched squeals. Dash 1 consumer, male, D-class, 69, age 22. Soil input, human female, age 93 at time of death, deceased for 2 days. Experience report, D69 uncooperative, restraints employed, D69 force-fed, SCP-324-1. Continues thrashing for 43 seconds before abruptly relaxing. Eyes glazed for duration of experience. D69 drools slightly. Recounts staring out a window from a wheelchair at a busy urban street, sprinklers occasionally splashing the window. Why was he freaking the fuck out then?
Ugh.
Is it because he was force-fed and he thought he was gonna, like, blow up because he was fed some weird fruit by the Foundation? That makes sense, actually. Okay. Dash 1 consumer, female, D-class, 39, age 42. Soil input, dolphin, male, age 19 at time of death, deceased for 1 day. Experience report. D39 holds breath for duration of experience, passes out at 97 seconds, revived, recounts impressions of swimming, darkness, pressure, claims to distinctly recall speaking to another individual but cannot remember content of a conversation. That's neat. I do like this one, actually. This one is really interesting. It's a very unique concept, and I like the discovery log. That's funny. That some guy was just like, yeah, I can let you see memories of your dead loved one if you pay me like $50.
Right now.
Oh no.
Well,
Would you like this one, or should I take another since my last one was? I'd say my last one was like medium size, but yours was like large.
take this one.
Alright. Oh fuck, I gotta plug my phone real quick.
Man, you're bad at this.
Okay. Item number SCP-325. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-325 is to be held in a standard 30cm by 10cm by 10cm steel box. This box should be waterproofed and lined with hydrophobic rubber and stored away from any washing facilities. If SCP-325 breaches containment, standard Foundation issue NBC protection suits are to be issued and spread to desiccant on the affected area. All used desiccant should be incinerated according to standard incineration procedure. SCP-325 can be safely stored at any site and with any SCP. With any SCP? Any of them? Any of them? I don't know if you want... I don't think you should say that. That's just dumb. It's just not true.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? One of them's gonna drink dish soap?
They're gonna give it to the SCP that eats other SCPs to become stronger. Like, no. You don't want to keep this with the tree that just grows exact copies of other things that it touches. You don't want
nonsense.
To keep
it's
it
fine. Listen. If it comes in contact with that tree, what's gonna happen is the tree is gonna die.
Well, yeah, that's bad.
No. It's fine. It's one less loose end.
Any personnel
I can see
showing
no possible useful application of duplicating things exactly off of a tree.
It wasn't exactly, but it was very close. I believe they
Still.
tried it with like SCP-500, the pill, the panacea, and it was effective, just not like the same as like the panacea actually was.
I do appreciate the fact that every writer who addresses SCP-500 is like, nope, nah. Nice try, fucker.
Any personnel showing a greatly increased adherence to cleaning and hygiene than required are to be detained and given new Foundation issue overalls to be worn for the next 24 hours. After the suspected personnel are to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. That's so weird. Why give them overalls? Description. SCP-325 is a small bottle of redacted brand washing detergent, a product commonly sold in the United Kingdom. However, the redacted name present on the label does not match any of the redacted company's current products. SCP-325 contains a small semi-viscous green liquid, identical in chemical composition to the Naturals range of washing detergents sold by Redacted. SCP-325 is a value-packed container of concentrated detergent and currently contains 1,775 milliliters of fluid. One wash of SCP-325 takes 25 milliliters of liquid as indicated on the instructions located on the rear of the bottle. This information also contains a warning detailing Redacted. SCP-325 functions in an identical way to normal detergent, and when used will produce excellent results. Tests with D-Class personnel have indicated that victims will find the quality of the wash much higher than usual, therefore preferring to wear a garment washed in SCP-325 over other articles of clothing washed in normal detergent. However, lab tests have shown there to be no physical or chemical difference between garments washed in SCP-325 or other brands. Further research into low-level mimetic threats are ongoing, but as the effects of SCP-325 are contained by non-use, SCP-325 is currently classified as safe. When a garment washed in SCP-325 is worn, the subject wearing it will eventually succumb to extreme, pervasive paranoid delusions related to misophobia and cleanliness. This will often induce ritualistic behaviors in the subject and has led to subjects harming themselves through excessive cleaning methods such as placing their hands in boiling water or ingesting bleach. There are currently 5 levels of behavior caused by SCP-325, exposure documented with all tests past 480 total hours of exposure resulting in the Redacted indicated on the label, unless subject expires at level 4 as documented below. All time measurements indicated in the following descriptions of behavior after exposure are indicated at the average number of hours exposed, rounded up and plus or minus 10%. Exposure refers to the time spent physically wearing garments cleaned in SCP-325. Level 1 Behavior. Subjects exposed to SCP-325 for between 1 and 24 hours will exhibit majorly increased awareness of hygiene and cleanliness. This is usually characterized by excessive hand washing and ordering others to be more clean themselves. This stage will usually pass without comment. However, any staff noticing increased awareness of cleanliness around the storage area of SCP-325 should inform Level 4 clearance personnel immediately. Level 2 Behavior. Subjects exposed to SCP-325 for between 24 and 96 hours will begin to display extreme misophobia and manic washing regimens. Exposed subjects will also shun others, only exiting their domicile to stockpile supplies of tinned food and cleaning agents such as bleach. Interviews have shown that subjects view the outside world to be unclean. Level 3 Behavior. Subjects exposed to SCP-325 for 96 to 240 hours exhibit complete disregard for anything that is considered by them to be unclean, including the outside world. If an object inside their abode can be cleaned by the subject, they will clean it until deemed suitably uncontaminated. All clothing that has not been washed in SCP-325 will also be rejected, and most likely destroyed along with other non-suitable items. Subjects will usually dispose of things by incineration, although no single method is preferred. From this point, only clothing washed in SCP-325 will be worn.
Hi, Rich.
Level 4 Behavior. Currently the stage of most use and interest to the Foundation. After 240 hours of exposure, subjects will cut themselves in order to use their blood as a cleaning agent. That doesn't make any sense.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Other agents such as bleach will sometimes be added, but this is not a constant behavior, and around 80% of exposed subjects will not add anything. The blood from the victim has been proved to be 100% efficient at removing any contaminant from a certain... Never mind, Jesus Christ, it turns their blood into
fucking immediately eating crow, I guess.
Jesus. The mechanism for this is currently unknown, but tests with the products of SCP Redacted and SCP Redacted have shown promising results for cleanup after containment breaches. The composition of the blood has eluded a full analysis so far, with results showing Redacted present in the bloodstream. Further testing is authorized after submitting from Form 325-T1 to the appropriate Level 4 researcher. Most test subjects, around 70%, will die of exsanguination or exhaustion before progressing to Level 5. Level 5 Behavior. Once a subject has been exposed for 480 hours, they will proceed to Redacted, see Report 325-E1. which resulted in the deaths of redacted civilians and redacted Foundation staff. This event is detailed on the warning on SCP-325's label. A copy is available to researchers level 3 above level 3 clearance. As the redacted company shows no record of producing SCP-325 yet, as the facility to do so if the redacted is added into their manufacturing process, one undercover agent has been inserted as an employee. Agent Redacted is to stay silent unless production of SCP-325 is found to exist. All instances of SCP-325 found outside of Foundation control are to be destroyed by incineration after testing at the nearest Foundation site. Field Agent and MPFs are cleared to terminate any civilians exhibiting confirmed exposure at level 3 or above. Confirmed level 2 instances are to be contained and returned to the nearest Foundation site. This one's interesting to me, but it's because it gave me a different question other than anything relating to the SCP Foundation. It's like mentioned like inserting a guy into the company. And I'm wondering like assumedly they're completely undercover, they're practically just working there like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Are they getting paid for both the Foundation and the work there? Or does the Foundation be like, yeah, we're giving you this paycheck to do this?
I mean...
So you should give us that other pay. Or something. Like, do they just get double the income?
I have to imagine for things like this, they are still paid by the Foundation, but they might not be paid directly to avoid drawing suspicion.
Yeah, maybe they
like
get
they might
like
have
a
like
bonus or something from the Foundation for just working for them. But they do
maybe
still
that,
make
or they help just cover like basic necessities of living.
Yeah,
and all of the money that they get from that job is just theirs.
I imagine there's some like thing the Foundation has worked out for this scenario where it's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to be giving you like this much extra money, but
oh
you
god,
are
I just
working
realized.
For us, so.
I just realized. Imagine the fucking tax nightmare it would be to not be in the Foundation itself. I'm sure they themselves are fine, but imagine finding out that like your spouse has like $40,000 in cash just sitting somewhere in your house.
Jesus.
And just having to account for that all of a sudden. It's like, where the fuck did you get this?
I thought you worked at like the bakery.
Is this all in ones? What the fuck?
The Foundation has reasons.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of all of the $1 bills in circulation.
I'm gonna go grab a Pepsi real quick.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Rich.
Hello.
What do you mean we've spent $40,000 in the span of... What? You don't make that much in like that many months. Oh. How you doing, Rouge?
Pretty alright. Yourself?
I'm alright. I'm, as they say, just kinda here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great! You can play Lilum Harlot.
Nonsense. I've done most of what I can for Lilum Harlot right now. And also, I can't really divide my focus with this.
Sure
Well,
you can.
I'm not supposed to.
Use one eye to read SCP, use the other eye to look at your phone and play Lilum Harlot.
I don't have that level of control over my eyes. And also know that she's not going to work, don't you lie to me.
And then use your third eye to play Lost Belt 2 or 3 if you're on that one.
That one just doesn't work.
1 second, the oven timer's going off.
Yep.
You can start reading.
Oh, okay. Item number SCP-326, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedure. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-326 is contained at Armed Biocontainment Area 14. Due to SCP-326's severe itarophobia. Okay. That's persistent and irrational fear of doctor. Yeah, that's fair. Personnel who will be seen, not even interact with, holy shit, by SCP-326 are not to wear lab coats. Due to SCP-326's post-traumatic stress disorder, her tendency to undergo panic attacks, and the increased danger she poses to personnel during these episodes, SCP-326 is never to be beyond sight of a panic room into which she can flee. The path between SCP-326 and the closest panic room is to remain unobstructed. Tranquilizers are to be added to SCP-326's food on a daily basis to mediate her stress. In the event that SCP-326 needs to be transported off-site, she is to be sedated until such time as she can be provided with a new panic room. SCP-326 is deaf and communicates via written Chinese. Translators are to be available at all times. All communications with SCP-326 are to be archived. Description: SCP-326 is a human female approximately 65 to 70 years old. This figure is SCP-326's physiological age. Chronologically, SCP-326 is over 120 years old. Oh, okay. Good for her. She has been subjected to significant body modification by an anomalous technology. Not as good for her. When inactive, these modifications are detectable only by subject's anomalous mass, 230 kilograms, despite a physique which would indicate a mass of at most 45 kilograms. Jesus Christ. And by the presence of significant keloid scarring along her arms, legs, hands, feet, and spinal column. When subject becomes agitated, the scars are rupture lengthwise, and the components of a structure emerge. The structure resembles an exoskeleton made from human bone and bestows upon SCP-326 enhanced strength and speed. The degree to which her speed and strength are enhanced is unknown, as she is reluctant to participate in quantitative testing. However, she has demonstrated the ability to, when in a panic, throw 200 kilogram security guards over distances greater than 4 meters and travel over 20 meters to her panic room in 2.8 seconds. Missed. Due to logistical difficulties with sampling, not only is the exoskeleton extremely durable, and its accessibility is limited to those times when SCP-326 is panic-stricken. The physical composition of the exoskeleton is as yet unknown, as is its connectivity to SCP-326's musculature and nervous system. Radiographic imaging has been hindered by the subject's phobic reaction to X-ray machines. SCP-326 is deaf, but is still able to speak in the Pinghua dialect of Chinese. Cool. As a result of having deliberately ruptured both of her eardrums at some time prior to entering into Foundation custody. Her stated goal in doing this was to avoid hearing bad words. Yeah. Further questioning in this topic results in SCP-326 becoming agitated and distressed. History. SCP-326 claims to have been an agricultural worker from the rural region of Redacted in Redacted Province, People's Republic of China. Well, wow, incredible. At the time of Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward campaign, she describes having been approached by some young men from Redacted, who induced her to participate in a procedure for the revolution. The procedure was very secret and involved bad doctors, bad magic, and much death. Eventually, however, the young men stopped coming, and SCP-326 was left in the room of ice.
Wow.
This is thought to indicate cryogenic suspension. In 2000 Redacted, a containment breach by SCP Redacted led to the collapse of Redacted buildings in the Chinese city of Redacted. Foundation cleanup crews discovered SCP-326 wandering in the wreckage of the Redacted building, identified her as anomalous, and took her into custody. I'm curious as to what that links to.
Yeah, well, we're gonna check them out, but at first I'm just like, I like this one. I like that she just has a panic room. Like, hey, come here if you're scared. And that's their way of containing her, because otherwise there's no fucking way. She would barrel out
By
of the
implication,
facility.
they have
She
to
would,
treat her like a stray cat.
She would level the facility if she didn't have her panic room.
Probably. I mean, we don't actually know. They just don't want to test it.
That's a different SCP.
Nope, good try.
I think this is unrelated.
It's talking about the revolution.
And it's not from her perspective. It's just a guy.
Are we
talking
sure?
About
It.
It doesn't seem to have any actual relation to the SCP.
It's literally talking about her making herself deaf. What do you mean?
Where?
An abandoned rusty screwdriver lay on the ground, a discarded tool from a discarded tool. How poetic. I took it and stabbed it into my ear, blood gushing out. And the
Fine,
insides of my
we
ear.
can read it. Fine.
Christ. It said nowhere that this is about some fucking guy. Anyways. Actually, no, no, fuck you. You can read this.
I don't want to read this. No one wants to read it.
God, you're such a bitch. Anyways. They promised me glory. I wanted peace. They told me, "This shall advance the glorious revolution." I wanted nothing to do with the revolution. They said it would barely hurt. I screamed until I could scream no more. They said it would be over quickly. The doctors came again and again. Why? Why was I chosen? I was no revolutionary. I was no nationalist. I was nobody. Why? They changed me. They broke my body and rebuilt it to do their bidding. The young men told me that I was truly an honor to the revolution. I did not feel like one. I knew what I really was. A tool. That's all. A tool. A magical tool, but a tool nonetheless. At first I tried to stop it. I ripped the magic metal out of me. The doctors saw. I told the young men who told me the bad words. I stopped. I was put into a room. It was cold and bare. Just a bed, nothing more. I curled up into it and cried. Why did they choose me? Why? They took me on a plane. They told me I needed to repay their gift to me. What gift? I did not see a gift. Tools are not made to be given as gifts. They took me off the plane, and I saw that we were far from the cold place where I had been. The trees were tall, and the sounds were strange. Plants grew in strange colors, and the air was thick and sticky. The soldiers took me to a field of death. There were bodies everywhere. Young men cut down in the prime of their youth like the rice and wheat I cut down in my past life. Blood streamed and pooled in eddies in the flow of a river of death. And people started shooting at us from the trees. Bullets ripped throughout the air. They told me to kill. I did not want to. They said the words and I killed. I killed again, and again, and again. I hacked through a tree to kill the boy behind it. His friend tried to shoot me. I stopped him, and then he was dead too. I tried to stop. They said the word these again, and I began to cry, as the magic metal inside of me pulled me forward. The river swelled. The next time the young men came to see me, they told me I was in for a surprise. I asked them if I was going home. They laughed. They told me I was being sent for a special mission. Finally, we will wipe out the nationalists forever. We will do your country a great service. We have begun by taking the islands that they held on to. We will follow when we finally invade them. I asked them why. They did not answer and insisted that it was for the revolution. I told them that I did not love the revolution. They became angry. The revolution gave you your gift. You will show your gratitude to the revolution, or else. I refused. There would be no more killing. You will obey. No. Then they said the words, and they made them hurt. I was a coward. They put me on a beach. They pointed towards the enemy. The slopes of the beach was covered in walls, bunkers, and barbed wire manned by soldiers. I saw no enemies, though, only scared men and boys. Kill. I ran forward. I tried to stop myself. This magic was stronger. I was tired. So very tired. No more death, and we're killing. I wanted nothing but peace. Peace, peace, peace. And the magic stopped. The magic stopped. They screamed, "Kill," again. The magic pulled me forward again, and one of the enemy cried out as he died. And I stopped. Kill. I did. Kill the rest of them. No. Do it. I killed already. They are escaping. Go after them. I ran after them, but I did not stop them. You are a tool. You will obey us. No. They took me away. They put me away. I left my cold cell for an even colder one. The doctors locked me inside and spat on me, saying that I was a counter-revolutionary scum. I did not care. They had finally let me go. Before I fell asleep, I thought that I had finally gotten peace. No more killing, no more death, only peace. When I awoke, the sky was gray. It was pouring rain. No. I thought I was free. No more killing, no more death. They finally come for me again. I burst into tears. Where was my home? Where were the young men? Where was I? The lab of the doctors and the young men and the officers and the soldiers were gone. I was in a ruin of a building, with the sky weeping above me. The landscape was bleak and ruined. There was no one in sight. But what if they came back? What if they made me kill again? What if I could not stop them? I screamed. I would not listen to them anymore. I would never kill again. An abandoned, rusty screwdriver lay on the ground. A discarded tool for a discarded tool. How poetic. I took it and stabbed it into my ear. Blood gushed out, and the inside of my ears exploded in sticky and hot agony. I screamed again as tears, rain, and blood mixed together. I bit my lip and stabbed the screwdriver deep inside my ear again, until I could feel nothing except the blood in my mouth. I did it again for the other ear. I cried out again, the screwdriver falling from my hand as I fell to the ground sobbing. I wanted no more death, no more killing. The magic metal came out again, covering me, though I beat against it, screaming and crying. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Why would it not go away? Where had my life gone? I curled up, tears streaming down my face once again. In the distance, I saw men coming. They had come for me. I did not care. Nothing could make me kill again. I'll take the quote field specialist and you can take the team leader.
Okay.
What do you think this is? Or what do you think it is? The field specialist asked.
Best not to get near it. Could be dangerous. The team leader said.
The team leader.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
God, you're pissing me off.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Best not to get near it. Could be dangerous.
Come
Let's
on,
get
man,
back
it's an
to
old
finding that damn skip.
Shit. Come on, man. It's an old woman. Look, we gotta inspect her at least.
Fine. Let's take a look.
They slowly approached the woman, weapons leveled at the curled body. They stopped 5 meters away from the body just in case. That's you.
Yeah, I really can't tell. Oh, there it is. No, the lead specialist.
Oh wait, that's a different voice. Look. Okay.
That's the lead specialist. That's
different from. That's different from team specialist or field specialist. God,
God
damn it.
damn
Why
it.
is everyone there a specialist?
Just read.
Fine, fuck it. Ma'am? Are you alright? Ma'am. The lead specialist asked, still with his gun on the woman.
I don't think she can hear us. Look, her ears are bleeding.
What do you suggest?
Let's get closer.
The lead agent nodded and moved closer slowly, while the rest of the team stayed back, still aiming at the curled up woman. First agent got nearer. The woman made no move to respond, and the team saw that she was sobbing. The lead containment specialist leaned down and touched her shoulder. Suddenly, thick metal arms erupted out of scars in the woman's arms, leg, and spine. They formed a wall, and the specialist barely managed to yank his hand away in time. Fuck! The specialist tripped and fell backwards. The woman mumbled. Her voice was hoarse, tired, but above all, sad.
What's she saying? That's not Mandarin and Cantonese. What language is that? Anyone know?
The containment agent Sproul furrowed. I think it's Hangzhou or no, Pinghua. Definitely Pinghua. Lean closer.
Well, what's she saying?
The specialist listened carefully. She's begging us. No more. No more. I don't know what she's talking about, and she's saying... And now she's saying, no more pain.
Well, she's definitely anomalous. I'm calling him back up to help us with this one. Chen, see if you can get her to talk. Show her pen and paper, maybe?
The woman on the ground curled up tighter, as this containment specialist sat down on the ground next to her. He heard her muttering again. I'm a tool. Why am I here? I want my peace. I want my home. I'm a tool. We don't have to look into tool.
But no, what if the tool is the SCP?
Let's fucking go!
Yeah. I was wrong, that one was related. However, it didn't really gain that much from it. Other than the fact that she was a tool created by China, which we already knew.
Yes, it didn't give much fact, but it was nice to know anything more about the woman herself.
The main reason I was like, this isn't the same person, is because this doesn't sound like at all what I would ever imagine like a 70-year-old lady to like write like.
I don't know, man.
I was like, this is just not human.
I mean, she's been horribly desensitized to most everything.
Yeah. Your disgust towards this writing made you fully wake up? Like, from the... how it was written, or the stabby bit? Because I winced at the stabbing bit.
Are you just talking about how it's structured grammatically? Because, like, it's not wrong, but yeah, it's very...
The reading, the lines part kind of was like, oh, there were not, like, actual indicators of who was reading what.
Yeah, apologies. Anyway, welcome back, I guess.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. This one's also pretty short.
Have at it, King.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if we fit, like, responds to what I asked first before I get, like, into the first article of this, but...
Also, shoutouts to the guy for actually putting the fucking name in English of the scientific species. Like, would it fucking kill other writers to like put the this is just a West Indian manatee or wherever the fuck this animal or species is.
Yeah, that's
please,
fair.
I beg you, people, just fucking do it.
It's so much easier than having to, like, actually just fucking
like,
search it. I don't know what a manatee is.
You can't even make the cope of in lore. Everyone at the Foundation should just know what that means. Bitch, no! You're covering, like, every fucking field of science known to man. Not all of them are gonna know fucking scientific naming. Not directly. Yeah. It's like, oh, let's get the fucking astrophysicist in here to look at this. If he has to read this under pressure, he's gonna fucking take one look at this species name and implode. Because, like, I don't know what the fuck that is. That could be a plant.
Yeah, that's true. This could be a plant and I wouldn't be surprised.
The only hint that I get is manatee, and that's only because it's a fucking manatee.
Yeah. It sounded like a bad novel, so that's what you said.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't the greatest, admittedly.
Yeah.
I just like it for, like, giving context to the woman as a person. I will not say it was, like, the best written.
You have been itching for more background stories.
Yeah. Funny that. I will say that's not as common of a thing as we get further along, at least not in the same way.
Again, like, that is one of the bigger things I do look out for when I'm doing the stink test, is how does this look like it's written? Like, does it look like it's written like a good exploratory log, or is this some, like, old lady saying, it hurts, Why did they make it hurt so bad for like 10 minutes? They said
Yeah, I
the
guess
bad
that's
words
fair.
again.
Yeah, I admit it wasn't the. It was
Yeah.
not the best of any of the ones that I have read. I about said written, which is simply not correct. But I still felt it was important because that's a pretty short article otherwise.
It was pretty short, yeah.
Because,
Ooh.
like, sure, she doesn't give much more context of what they augmented her to do, besides at the very end where it's like, oh, she's got, like, actual augments that she can form out of her spine and shit. It's just...
Yeah.
Considering that she looks to be in her 70s, and that add on an extra 50 for her actual age, that's terrifying.
I like that it's stopped her aging as well.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Okay, so it was basically a elderly Chinese woman who was abducted by the, at the time, People's Republic of China and augmented physically to be a killing machine.
That's an ad break.
Well, fuck. I saw that, like, right as I was addressing that.
Yeah. I do have them set to be as short as humanly possible, so...
God damn it. Yeah, I'll say it in a second.
It
Then...
should be over.
Not on my end, it ain't.
I love that it just shows it incorrectly on my end as the streamer when I'm trying to build my stream around the fact that there's an
Okay, yeah. Ad done. Anyways, an elderly Chinese woman was abducted by the People's Republic of China and made into a biological weapon. Eventually, after presumably their collapse, or at least like the collapse of the facility, she was cryogenically frozen, and after rebelling, she made herself deaf with a screwdriver so she couldn't be issued auditory commands. She is extremely skittish, understandably so, around anyone who resembles a doctor.
If she so much as
actual just full-on
sees a
PTSD.
doctor, if she so much as sees a doctor, she will just go on a rampage and like fucking run away terrified.
Well, not a rampage. She will first just try and get away from them, but
yeah,
which is why they have a panic room built for her.
Yo, wait a minute! It says doctor. Says doctor.
How does she know that they're a doctor?
Visual tells. Like if she sees someone in a lab coat, it sets off her PTSD.
She's got an optical HUD that displays their like doctorate staff.
Have you completed your doctorate?
I'm just a normal human being, but above every person I see, I can see their doctorate. But no, joking aside, I think it's a neat concept, but yeah, it was a little rough to read. All right, I'm done talking about it now.
I would have preferred to like hear more like of a. I would have preferred if it was more in the format of like an interview with a Foundation operative, with her, of her detailing more of what happened instead of like just some weird like out of body third person memory bullshit.
I suppose so, yeah, but also trying to get her to talk to literally anyone in the Foundation would be like fucking pulling teeth.
Yeah, that's true.
Even in the initial confrontation where, you know, there were armed soldiers there.
Sounds like an isekai plot. That time I was abducted by the Chinese government and got turned into a super soldier.
I assumed that was referring to the I see doctorates above people's heads comment I made.
Wait, Rich, isn't there an anime about like a really old guy who like full on turns android or something?
Yeah.
What was that one called?
I don't remember.
Hold on. Inuyashiki.
That was fast.
It's like this.
Christ. hate this.
I've heard that it's actually good. Oh, right, there's a clip where a fucking serial killer asks, like, a girl who he just, like, killed the parents of, like, what's your favorite One Piece character? That's, like, a genuine clip from the show.
Most sane One Piece fan.
But, just the old person who's, like, a super mechanical weapon made me think of this.
I just think Luffy's really silly. He says firing another round.
Alright. Item number SCP-327. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-327 is to be contained within a 40 meter by 40 meter by 10 meter saltwater tank within Site Redacted. The tank is to be cleaned on a weekly basis or immediately after an algal bloom event. The walls of the tank are to be soundproofed. All staff interacting with SCP-327 or entering the containment are to wear sound-canceling headphones when not in direct conversation with SCP-327. Any staff who report suffering the effects of SCP-327's properties are to be removed from active duty until cleared by a staff therapist. SCP-327 is to be fed 50 kilograms of lettuce and assorted leafy vegetables each day, accompanied by appropriate nutritional supplements. English language instruction for SCP-327 has been approved to be carried out by Doctors Amberley and Watson. 2 hours per day have been allotted for this purpose. Description: SCP-327 is a female specimen of a mammalian species resembling members of the order Sirenia, specifically the West Indian manatee, measuring approximately 2.8 meters in length and 450 kilograms in weight, and estimated to be between 25 and 30 years of age. The subject bears anomalous bodily features. The flippers bear distinct fingers and a functioning opposable thumb, and the skull and facial features resemble that of a human. SCP-327 was hit by a boat propeller 5 to 10 years before retrieval, as evidenced by having scarring on the head and back and traces of severe head trauma. SCP-327 is sapient and capable of speaking simple English sentences, though it experienced significant difficulty in doing so, both in pronunciation and comprehension of concepts. SCP-327's anomalous effect is based around its primary vocalization, taking the form of songs similar to that of cetaceans. These vocalizations are regarded as highly unpleasant to listen to and will result in severe headaches and audio-visual hallucinations in humans, persisting for 6 to 12 hours. Those affected will often report claustrophobia, an aversion to water and aquatic animals, and occasionally sensations similar to that of drowning. Other mammals will experience the same effects. During vocalizations, algae and plankton within approximately a kilometer of SCP-327's location will reproduce at incredibly high rates. The resulting algal bloom will cause considerable oxygen depletion and neurotoxin levels in the area, and causing massive die-offs of local fish and mollusk life. There are no anomalous properties present in the algae itself, and SCP-327 is immune to all effects caused by its vocalizations. Interviews with SCP-327 have revealed few concrete details of its origins due to the specimen's inability to adequately express the information. SCP-327 has implied the existence of other specimens of the species to live in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. However, no anomalies resembling descriptions have been reported. Addendum 01. Recovery Log. SCP-327 was recovered in August of 2008 after a series of inexplicable mental illness among citizens of Redacted, Florida, and reports of unexplained noises. Oh, sorry, I've read that in a really weird way because Redacted threw me off. My apologies. Among citizens of Redacted, Florida, and reports of unexplained noises in the area. The area had been under Foundation watch for 2 weeks before it was reported that a mutant manatee had been washed ashore by Tropical Storm Faye. After investigation by Foundation agents, amnestics were distributed to the local populace and the specimen was recovered without incident. Addendum 02. Interview excerpt. Redacted. For purposes of readability, SCP-327's accent has been corrected in this transcript.
Incredible.
I guess I gotta pick. Do you have a preference?
Nope.
You be the SCP then.
Okay.
Hello, 327.
Hello, Dr. Emily. 327 ready to answer questions again.
Very well. We were talking about the song yesterday. Could you tell me more?
Yes. Song for fish and animals. Song for plants. Song for people. Song for home. Song is good. Song not like this. SCP-327 hums for 3 seconds. Song not like words. Song is song. Song makes things good. Song not good now.
And what happened to the song?
Low rumbling noise and imitation of a motor. Made it bad.
The boat, then.
Yes. It is okay, though. Bad song not hurt animals here. You and Watson helped 327 get good song back.
I like him. I
love him.
I love the manatee. I love him. Hello. Hello. The SCP speaks like the Onion Knight. Hold on, I believe Noah was... Were you just booping for no reason? I assumed you needed something. I guess not. Asshole. Also, did something happen to fish? It's working, isn't it? Like... What are you upset about?
I mean, I see things being cast.
Yeah. Or no, they might be talking about the fact that the song killed fish.
Oh.
Yeah. That would make sense.
So just saw that they dug up a fucking VHS tape. That's pretty funny.
Hello.
Hello.
Love that. But yeah, that's a cute SCP.
Love that guy.
It's the fucking... I hate that it puts in my brain the image of the one guy in that one, like, gross body horror movie who got turned into a walrus. Just like a gross, fleshy human turned
No
into
idea what you're talking about, and I'm content not knowing.
Yeah, I could pull up a picture, but I think it's better for everyone if I don't.
I'm good.
But it's just like a gross body horror scene.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh well. I'll read this one as well then, since the last one was short.
Yep.
Item number SCP-328. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-328 is to be kept in a secure locker in storage area 328-A. Access for research requires level 3 authorization and will be permitted in most instances. Due to its unclear nature, SCP-328 is not to be allowed into contact with any data reading device with a connection to the Internet or Foundation intranet. Electronic devices which have been used to study SCP-328 should be clearly labeled SCP-328 use only, and stored in Storage Area 328-A for common use in case of unidentifiable viral properties. A small, isolated lab adjunct to Storage Area 328-A, designated 328-B, has been established to this end. Description: SCP-328 is a smooth, greenish-yellow disk approximately 10 centimeters in diameter and 4 millimeters thick, weighing just over 13 grams, composed of an unknown crystalline organic compound. The bonding pattern of SCP-328 is highly organized, in a manner reminiscent of a data storage or retrieval device. SCP-328-1, see below, a data file retrieved from SCP-328, seems to confirm this. Various analyses of samples of SCP-328 have been inconclusive. Some known atomic elements have been identified, but none in recognized compositional patterns, and not enough to account for the mass of the samples used. It is slightly warmer, about 4 degrees Celsius, than its surrounding environment, even when subjected to extreme temperatures. It is susceptible to kinetic damage, but if broken, reform itself from its largest remaining piece over a period of 1 week to 6 months, depending on the severity of damage. Crystallographic analysis of fragments indicates they possess a restructured crystalline form, a scaled-down version of the whole item structure. As the disk regrows, the structure re-expands and returns to original form. No changes have been observed in binary data obtained from the disk reader, see below, before and after breakage/reformation. SCP-328 has been in the possession of the Foundation since Redacted, when it was recovered from Redacted Until redacted, the purpose and nature of SCP-328 was uncertain. In an accidental breakthrough, SCP-328 was inserted into an experimental disk drive that had been treated with redacted as part of the Redacted project. See Addendum 328-1. SCP-328, when used with this reader, produces binary data. Multiple cryptographic analysis of the binary code produced indicate that at least some of it is a description of data contained on SCP-328. An algorithm for converting binary to ASCII code has been developed, and the current extent of translation is appended as SCP-328-1. Veracity of this data is uncertain, but I don't think that's the right way to pronounce that. Veracity?
What?
I said veracity, like the opening to Overlord. Not...
Veracity, I think, is correct.
That's so... gotta love the English language, man.
Yep.
Veracity of this data is uncertain, but given the coherence of the data produced, it seems unlikely it is a random fluke. Curiously, the data obtained is written in over 30 known languages, transliterated into Roman characters, and what appears to be a single article. Further attempts to directly access and translate the data on SCP-328 have proven labor-intensive, and full funding for the project has been pulled. Dr. Redacted has announced that anyone with relevant skills, cryptography, data storage, recovery, or linguistics in particular, is welcome to take up translation of SCP-328 as a hobby item. I fucking love that the Foundation is just like, yeah, sure, if you want a little brain teaser, you can go fuck with the SCP-328, the funny disc. Just use the correct laptop for it. That's so ridiculous. But I like it. It's fun. It's very SCP. Addendum 328-1. As Project Redacted, which produced the original SCP-328 data reader, has been cancelled for over a decade, Dr. Redacted has lodged a formal request for O5 clearance to remove the redaction, allowing anyone working on SCP-328 to consider this information. Permission is pending. SCP-328-01. This compromises the main body of the documents translated from SCP-328. Much of the actual log consists of random ASCII characters which may be untranslated text, or may correspond to some other type of information. All data has been translated into English for ease of comprehension. The original untranslated log with complete additional text is stored at SCP-328-01 or disk in storage area 328-A. Translated data begins. It is approximately 4 units in width, 6 units in length, and 0.4 units high when sitting on a flat surface. Its external surface is essentially featureless aside from unrecognized markings on several surfaces and several narrow slots along the 2 shorter edges. It tastes of sodium chloride present in trace, non-toxic quantities on its surface, and of carbon-based oils and polymers of unidentified composition. Graphic analysis of the residues present on the surface and of the material of which the device is compromised indicate it contains several elements unknown to our science. When inactive, it radiates very little energy. Its surrounding is flavorless, aside from a hint of 3 indentations along the edge release electromagnetic radiation in a rhythmic pulse. Upon depression of a smooth, flavorless, i.e., possessing only the same base flavor as the object, surface of the same edge as the radiators. The top half of the device comes loose, revealing itself to be hinged along the opposite surface. Inside is what appears to be a control console, with nearly 104 nearly identical depressible surfaces, most of a uniform size. Researcher has described them as a sequence of untranslated data. For each of the inside its outer, but underneath it is a sequence of untranslated data. When a small oblong surface is pressed, the translucent surface above the primary interface almost immediately begins emitting class redacted radiation, which claimed of 4 researchers before adequate shielding could be devised. See handling protocols above. Operation. Trial and error has revealed that depressing certain combinations of the surfaces on the control console will cause changes in the spectrum of radiation emitted by the device. Although the nature of these changes has yet to be determined, the patterns are consistent. Additionally, the device does not emit identical radiation from every surface. It appears to have over 1 million nearly identical micro-emitters arranged in a grid-like pattern across its surface. Each one is capable of emitting variable radiation frequencies. When cataloged and mapped, the different frequencies of radiation from patterns and symbols, which at least partially correspond to the symbols mapped on the control console. Long sequence of untranslated data. Power source was identified by researcher by activating two sliding panels previously unnoticed on the underside of the control console. A roughly cylindrical portion hidden beneath the hinge could be removed, while externally undifferentiable from the main portion of the device. This segment is somewhat denser. After its removal, the device would not activate. It has been advised that the device should be stored in this format from this point on. Against researcher advice, sub-researchers, out of curiosity, manipulated what is believed to be a connection socket on the putative power supply. It was observed to emit involuntarily from sub-researchers, followed by expunged. Foundation research note. This data expunge tag is the closest translation of the original Swahili phrase in SCP-328-01, boy. It has not been added by the Foundation. Although this is a feasible, if unsavory, method for recharging the device, should its power supply fail, it is recommended that valuable sub-researchers not be used in this manner in the future. Addendum 101. Researcher was committed to safety storage for reconditioning after activating a mimetic weapon on the device. Simultaneous depression of the two control surfaces labeled activated a heretofore unidentified capacity on the device. Electromagnetic radiation was emitted in a frequency fluctuating pattern to moderate to long wavelength. This interfered with research as has previously been documented in logs of device. Researcher was recorded as spewing gibberish about seeking a connection or something about a web. Further exposure to the device is ill-advised at this time. Observation from Queen Researcher. It seems certain that this is another memento-energetic weapon developed by agency. In light of this, the Research Council should consider releasing another through the no further translated information.
Wow.
This is kind of interesting. It's like the anomaly, to sum it up, is a disk that they don't understand that contains information of like some separate anomalous version of the Foundation that was doing their own research on what seemed to be a computer
Incredible.
of some sort. I actually really like this one. This one's really interesting.
I like to imagine they were doing research on like a MacBook from our world or something.
And it
It's
somehow
equally
managed to like
bizarre to them as the
and
disc does.
it somehow managed to kill like 5 of them and stop one guy's heart.
Well, yeah, it's a MacBook.
That's pretty normal, yeah. Also, hi Shane, how is stream? Stream's good. How's Dark Souls? Have you beat Fume Night yet?
Are you finished with those errands?
I'm still pissed at Shane. I don't know if he's still here, but he said he was too busy to come play Pokemon Go today, and then he was on Roblox for half of the day playing fucking, like, Factory Tycoon or some shit. No, what was he playing? I don't remember. He started playing The Forge. You remember The Forge?
No.
It was the game I made a poop sword in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What a dick. I hope he was still here for that.
Wow.
Oh well, I believe it's your turn now.
Yep, 1 second. Ugh. Church of the Gardener. No such thing. Item number SCP-329. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The building in which SCP-329 is located has been purchased by a Foundation front company and designated site redacted. Access to the site is restricted to Level 3 personnel. The facility personnel to undergo a full body scan at least every 48 hours. Since it is unknown how many adherents the Church of the Gardener possessed, site redacted should be considered at risk of recapture and appropriate measures taken. Description: SCP-329 is a room in a derelict building at redacted. Room is in the building cellar, 6 meters by 5 meters with a steel fire door. A room contains 6 folding beds. Beds are fitted with IV stands and leather restraints. 5 beds are occupied. Occupants are of both standard sexes and several races, with ages 16 to 64. Occupants have been designated SCP-329-1 through 5 and have been identified as such. Oh yeah? Identified?
No fixed address.
1.
No fixed address. No fixed address.
Empty as empty your soul. Anyways, 1 and 2 have no fixed address. 3 is a former medical student at Go Fuck Yourself University. 4 also has no fixed address, and 5 is a D-class personnel who was thrown in there. Oh, he was.
We put
he
him
was
in there
supposed
for the fun of it, you know.
Sorry, no, they didn't throw him in there. I mean, he was subjected to Event 329A. Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, right. Oh, common mistake.
Now I
D-class
remember.
personnel.
Right. Anyway. Oh, okay, cool. Occupants of beds all have cancer. This is gonna be a good one, I can tell.
They have cancer. Go fuck you, die disease as well.
Type of cancer varies from occupant to occupant, but all cases have at least 3 tumors of grade T3N1 MO or higher.
Oh shit, that's that Pokemon, Tynamo.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Although cancers are advanced, they do not follow normal progression. 2 of the cases, with a prognosis of weeks at best under normal conditions, have remained alive since at least redacted. Cool. Occupants are alert, but in great pain and unable to speak.
Great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, it's just every paragraph is gonna make it better
Even-
and better, isn't it?
Even a rough idea of how long would add so much. It's like, he's been around for like, I don't know, a week?
This guy's
Week
been
longer
here
than
since like
anticipated.
1984. Just in absolute agony.
We found this place yesterday. Anyway, every 24 hours at approximately 4 a.m., SCP-329 undergoes Event 329-A. The door closes with great force and cannot be reopened for the duration of the event. Anything obstructing the doorway is pulled into the room. Event 329-A lasts for approximately 20 minutes, after which it is possible to open the door again. Equipment for remote observation recording is rendered inert during 329-A in a manner consistent with non-standard space-time event. Yeah. The only sounds heard from outside during 321-A are screaming from the room's occupants. After the event, occupants are...
Of course.
After the events, occupants are apparently unharmed, bearing no incisions or external trauma. Their tumors, however, have been altered, in some cases radically. They have been reshaped and their direction of growth has been altered. Oh god. 3 of the occupants have tumors of more than 20 feet in length. Twining around and through bones and organs. SCP-329-5, who was cancer-free before he was exposed to Event 329-A, was found after the event to have developed a T1NO-MO lung cancer. I don't know what these mean.
Yeah.
Which in the 3 weeks since has grown to T3. I assume that's like...
Severity. Simple
yeah,
as.
Tier 3, presumably. Hazard 3 cancer is bad.
Yeah.
Joking aside, okay. Only people inside the room are affected by 329-A, and those who have been removed from the room, their cancer progresses normally, resulting in death. Great.
Jesus
Discovery.
Christ, the SCP that gives you cancer.
Yep. And sometimes really bad cancer. This guy was turned into Left 4 Dead 2 smoker. Discovery. SCP-329 was discovered by a group of redacted university medical students who noticed abnormal cancers in the bodies of indigents and supplied for dissection. They traced the source to SCP-329, which was being used as a squat. It came to the Foundation's attention through materials they circulate on the internet under the name of the Church of the Gardener, see document 329-1. When Mobile Task Force secured SCP-329, the Church had been operating for 11 months, luring indigents to the building with promises of drugs and shelter and subjecting them to Event 329-A. 7 members of the Church were present and offered armed resistance. 5 were eliminated by the MTF, and the other 2 held out long enough to subject themselves to Event 329-A. 1 was subsequently vivisected by the research team, and the other designated 329-3. The Church's records were achieved. They began as relatively straightforward medical case notes, but degrade over time into a religious read. Yeah. Addendum, document 329-1. Partial transcript of video found at... Cool, it's just the fucking YouTube link, but not a real one. Your body is an Eden after the fall, ruled by the tyranny of the Grey Devil in your skull. Your bodies are like your grey, lifeless cities, every cell marching in lockstep, any deviation punished. Any growth, anything alive and green, met with cut it out, burn it out, poison it. Endlessly. And the budding cancer is destroyed, or else it fights back. It brings down your body like Samson does the Temple of Dagon. Now it has come to cure us. Each day it plants, it prunes, and it trains. It makes the Grey City a garden again, and it will take root. It will bear fruit, and it will spread across the world.
Great.
So vegan.
Great. They didn't even try putting a camera in the thing, by the way.
Hey, did they not? I thought they did.
I don't believe they did.
Equipment for remote observation. What the fuck do you think a camera is?
Where is that?
Equipment for under after 24 hours. Like 3 paragraphs down from like the patient logs.
3 paragraphs down from the what?
Okay. Okay, from the list of patients,
Here?
2 more, or 1 more, just 1 more from down here. Equipment for remote observation. What do you think a camera is?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I remember the non-standard space-time event, and that's when I clicked back in.
Right, okay.
Mentally. I
no,
don't know why
wasn't...
this one I remember this. I remember the part after it. This like completely just didn't hit my brain.
Yeah, I can tell.
I think that's just the ADHD brain in action. There was a different thought.
Yeah,
at that
that's fine. I don't know. I don't necessarily dislike that one. It just didn't.
I wish there was more, because it's like it's boring. Just cameras don't work. Nothing you can do about it. It creates tumors.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. If you don't want to have cameras work, sure. But like, you didn't. I understand the ethics of this are very fucked because it's cancer. You're subjecting someone to cancer, but like, you didn't do anything else with this. You didn't even give us a time frame of how long people's lives are being extended, albeit in agony.
Should have zoned out for a moment. All right.
All yours.
I thought that you read this. I think you didn't read the. Yeah, this was me. I think you take this one too.
All yours.
I think you take this one.
I don't wanna.
I mean, we could take.
Oh wait, no, I do want this one. I do want this
one.
one. Fuck you. Die.
Oh, okay. We could take a 2-minute intermission because there is about to be an ad break.
Yeah. This one's mine. I've changed my mind a lot.
Oh, I see. Was there any particular reason you've changed your mind?
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Wait, I see which one it is. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, why am I tired? I mean, I guess I did wake up early and then go for a walk.
Early, he says.
Yeah, like 11 a.m. I didn't get to bed until like 5, I think.
You're
Still got like 6 hours of sleep. I don't know why I'm so tired. I've been sleeping so much later on most of these other days. Like straight up like 10 to 12 hours. Okay, that's 2 different SCP. You can't just read this SCP and then give 2 different SCPs. You need to pick one. That's not how this works. Oh. Okay. It's over as far as I'm aware.
You're
Start with 1,264. Okay, we can do 1,264 after this one then. If they're both short, we can do both. But if it's a longer article...
I'm not as worried about it, but it's not a great precedent to set.
Yeah.
Especially because Rich could start just listing them.
Yeah.
Anyways. Item number SCP-330, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Considering recent incidents, SCP-330 is to be kept in secure storage until further notice. Level 2 clearance is required for access to SCP-330 or its contents. All direct experimentation of SCP-330 is to be conducted using Class D personnel with no genetic history of diabetes. No more than 2 samples are to be removed from SCP-330 at any time except during exposure testing. Description: SCP-330 appears to be a small round stainless steel bowl filled with a variable amount of individually wrapped pieces of candy. Taped to the side of the bowl is a handwritten note reading, "Take no more than 2, please." Attempts to remove the note have been met with failure, as have attempts to hide or obscure it. Testers have noted finding it impossible to avoid reading the note, and those who approach it from an opposite angle are aware of this request. Incredible. When a quantity of candy greater than 2 pieces are removed, regardless of the means involved, the offender instantly has both hands severed at the wrists by an unknown method. Tests involving remote manipulation of Class D personnel resulted in the operator's hands being removed despite no direct contact. Inspection of the incision reveals that the cut is made at a molecular level, leaving no tool marks or identifying factors. It is to be noted that the 3rd piece must be removed within a certain time frame. After 24 hours, the count resets and additional candy can be removed. Discovered 3 days after Halloween of 20 detected when a police investigation into what was believed to be a case of ritualistic dismemberment was launched. SCP-330 was seized as evidence, but all attending officers were killed after Officer Redacted emptied the bowl of its contents.
Yeah.
The case of death was a result of a data expunged. Gee, I wonder. Foundation agents, under the guise of federal agents, recovered the object with acceptable casualties.
Do you think they also started fucking with the bowl?
I don't imagine it was intentional, but like... Addendum. Due to continuing security issues, SCP-330 will be held in Dr. Kondraki's office when not required for testing. Incredible. Experiment. Name, Researcher Vogt. Date, 2000 sometime, whatever the fuck. Subject D-330-1, a double amputee equipped with prosthetic forearms and hands, was told to remove 3 pieces of candy from the bowl. Subject complied with no immediate effects. However, within 45 seconds, subject reported a burning itch from both his arm stumps, right arm 3 centimeters below elbow, left arm 1.5 centimeters below elbow, and phantom pains from both his absent wrists. Subject's distress and discomfort increased rapidly. Within 180 seconds of having removed the third candy from the bowl, the subject began forcibly removing both his own prostheses. Upon hurling the prostheses to the ground, subject reported that the discomfort had ceased. Dermatological examination of subject's stumps revealed no unusual irritation or inflammation. Mechanical examination of subject's prosthesis revealed that, in addition to the physical damage sustained by it being hurled to the ground, the prosthesis had data expunged. Subject was supplied with fresh prosthesis identical to the first pair, but reported feeling that it was wrong to put them on. Coercion was applied, and subject reluctantly put on left prosthesis. Note, subject is right-handed. However, when told to put on the right prosthesis, subject began weeping incoherently and flailing his arms until the left prosthesis detached itself. Analysis of video footage revealed that the subject had not properly attached the left prosthesis to his stump. Medical examination of left prosthesis revealed only physical damage sustained from being thrown across the room. 24 hours later, subject was given fresh prosthesis and reported no difficulty in putting them on. Subject not terminated, as D-class amputees who are already used their prosthesis are in short supply.
Great. They've got like a stock of specifically amputee D class to fuck around with SCPs.
I love this article.
I also
it's like
love that it specifies a use to their prosthesis, as they can't just cut someone's hand off and give them fake prosthesis in certain
yeah. It's the right level of, oh right, this thing will actually just fucking punish you for taking 3 pieces of candy. No ifs, ands, or buts. But also, it's like, hey, dumb shits, please stop trying to take candy from this thing, just in general. You don't need to.
I mean, it's free candy. It's an infinite candy bowl. Just don't take more
Kondraki
than
should
you
not
need
have to babysit
Don't
this
be a
stupid
greedy
fucking
little
bowl.
shit.
I assume they're just trying to keep people from knocking over the bowl like a dumbass.
That's true. That's true. That would suck.
Because that's what happened to the police, and they died.
Resurrected wreckage. Okay, there are 2 things.
Oh no.
Oh, this is WeFetch suggestion. Again, I'll consider the other one, but I am not setting a precedent of this is a thing that we can consistently do, because it's just not a good thing to set. Ugh. Item number SB-1264. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. SB-1264 is located 75 meters below the ocean's surface. Below 75 meters is considered to be SB-1264's crutch depth based on engineering analyses. Of the South Pacific at, I am not reading the coordinates, through you.
28 KS.5.
What? Alright. It is to be held in place by 8 pairs of 10 kiloton deadweight anchors chained together and attached to SB-1264. Mobile Task Force Gamma 6, aka the Deep Feeders, will be tasked with performing bi-monthly examinations done by remote submersibles in order to inspect the integrity of the anchors and chain. 450 naval intact contact mines will be positioned around, over, and under SB-1264. The mines will be placed 20 meters from each other in order to sympathetically detonate in the event of a contact. Shipping lanes and aquatic anomalies such as SB-2467 will be diverted in order to avoid the containment area. Since detainment, SB-1264 exhibited no activity but still remains buoyant. So far, this very much reads like the fucking Jeffy containment procedures. Lock him in a box at the bottom of the ocean. Sharks with lasers, 7,000 mines, like the on-site nuclear warhead. You will be deprived of oxygen and restrained. I fucking love that meme. It's so stupid. Description. SCP-1264 is an amalgamation of once derelict warships and various pieces of flotsam jetsam that have adhered together by organic secretions. The main body of SCP-1264 is made of 5 WW2-era warships that were used as target ships as part of the Operation Crossroads atomic bomb test performed at the Bikini Atoll in 1946. The following ships that make up SCP-1264 were confirmed to have sunk after the test: the USS Saratoga, Lexington-class aircraft carrier; the Nagato-class dreadnought; Prinz Eugen, Admiral Hipper-class heavy cruiser; USS Lamson, Mahan-class destroyer; USS Apagon, Baleo-class submarine; various sections of a yard oiler. Survey reports of the wreckage performed at the Bikini Atoll in 1954 showed a number of sunk ships missing from the lagoon. In response, the U.S. Navy built and sunk several dummy ships in their place in order to cover up any evidence of the missing original ships. The U.S. government then initiated Operation Castle under the guise of nuclear testing, but was actually intended for the purpose of creating sufficient nuclear fallout as to make the Bikini Atoll area uninhabitable. SCP-1264 was first documented on January 30th, 1959, 56 kilometers south of Cape Farewell, Greenland, when it engaged and sunk the MS Hans Hedtoft during its maiden voyage. SCP-1264 shows only moderate corrosion and damage in contradiction of U.S. Navy records on the individual ships. The centerpiece of SCP-1264 is the aircraft carrier with several large jib cranes attached to its deck. The other ships are fastened to the sides of the centerpiece by means of hardened secretions. All the ships are missing their superstructure or conning towers. Other flotsam or jetsam has been attached to fill in empty spaces between the ships and roughly makes up 12% of the SCP-1264's total mass. SCP-1264 is armed with various pieces of artillery, torpedoes, AA guns, and depth charges. However, only several pieces of artillery have ever been seen in use, which indicates that either the remaining are non-operational or there are insufficient resources to operate them. SCP-1264 spends most of its time underwater as a submersible. Above the water, SCP-1264 is capable of speeds up to 331 knots. I'm shortening it to SCP at this point. I'm tired of reading 1264. SCP is maintained by a crew that has been designated SCP-A. Each fit inside a U.S. Navy standard rubber diving dress and are equipped with Mark V diving helmet and weighted boots. SCP-A are headless humanoid entities closely related to sea cucumbers. What?
Incredible.
SCP-A are also connected by a flexible arterial cord roughly 90 meters long that is in turn connected to SCP's interior. SCP-A display a deep understanding of SCP's mechanical and electrical systems. SCP-A habitually perform repairs and maintenance with what is available within their designated areas. -A are characteristically slow. Jesus Christ! Obstinate and exhibit no real intelligence of their own. -A also secrete a strong adhesive through their gloves that acts as a waterproof sealant, binder, filler, and cement in order to maintain the structural integrity and buoyancy of SCP. All of SCP's steerage and weapon systems are operated by -A. In turn, -A is commanded by a single entity designated -1. -1's appearance is unknown, and the only physical evidence for -1's existence are the arterial cords that connect -A to the ship's interior. These cords are lined with strands of neural tissue that do not originate from -1. This indicates that -A is directly connected to a separate biological entity, or that -1 is actually the collective consciousness of -A. -1 has proven on numerous occasions to be a hostile and skillful tactician of naval warfare. Dash 1 has been reported in some cases to transmit radio signals via ELF radio. To date, Dash 1 has engaged redacted civilian and military vessels and has sunk redacted of them. Though SCP-1 has shown a preference for passenger ships over other vessels, after the destruction of a vessel, Dash A will then throw fishing nets on top of survivors floating in the water. These nets are then attached to the hull of the sinking vessel or an anchor so that it will drag down the net and its contents. Oh, fuck, dude. That's awful.
Ugh.
Post-incident recovery teams using submersibles are unable to locate any corpses underwater after they are dragged to the bottom. In Redacted, SCP was involved in a protracted engagement with MTF Tau 11, aka the can openers, and was effectively suppressed. In its impaired condition, SCP was then towed out under armed escort to its current containment area for indefinite detainment. Level 2 access for... Oh boy, okay. This is pretty long. I'm gonna have to shorten a lot of this. I'm not reading all of the fucking binary. Autopsy report. ID BPD. Decedent A-1. Age, race, sex, redacted, length 177 centimeters, weight 111 kilograms. Is it kilograms?
For kilogram? For kg? Yes.
Okay. I'm just doubting myself for a moment. Location of autopsy. Research Site 45. Autopsy authorized by Dr. W. Hermes. Recovered post-incident 12-D. Clothing and equipment, Mark V diving helmet, standard U.S. diving dress, rubber, weighted boot. External examination. Multiple blast and fragment injuries to the chest and abdomen, including amputation of one of the lower extremities. There are multiple penetrating fragment injuries of the anterior thorax. Bilateral symmetry is present in the physical appearance. 4 extremities branch out from the central body, 2 upper and 2 lower. The upper extremities branch out again into 4 smaller distal appendages. This allows the subject to operate inside the suit, by taking on a nearly humanoid form. History. Injured by explosive munitions. Gross description. Skin. A membranous epidermis and dermis are both present. A thin layer of calcified structure lies below the dermis and is made of isolated microscopic ossicles joined by connective tissue. Head and neck. Head is totally absent. Mark V diving helmet is only filled with seawater and detritus. The open neck actually serves as the anus, expelling waste into the helmet.
Ugh.
Yuck. Skeletal system. An endoskeleton made of reinforced calcareous rods, plates, and bulbs provides upright support to the body and extremities. These structures are not true bones as they lack marrow, nerves, endostome, and peristome. Structures are held tightly in place by the surrounding radial muscles. Muscle tissue. Tissue is dark brown in color and formed in a circular pattern around the endoskeleton. A water vascular system is present to allow elongation and introversion of the muscle tissue. Water is not actually used in the hydraulics, but rather a coulombic fluid. Circulatory system. Hundreds of miniature ampullae are present within the muscle. Tissues that pump this coulombic fluid, phagocytic coulomycytes, somewhat similar in function to the white blood cells of vertebrates, are formed within the haemal vessels and travel throughout the body cavity via coulombic fluid. The coulomycytes are also seen to be responsible for carrying the hemoglobin. I'm struggling here. I don't know what that word means at all.
Which one?
The coulomycy, whatever the hell coulombic is.
I don't know.
And then there's this one. Oh well, you can keep busting through it. Respiratory and digestive system. Oxygenated and deoxygenated coulombic fluid is circulated via the arterial cord protruding from the dorsal side. This cord is the body's lifeline for both oxygen and nutrition. similar to a fetus connected to the mother's placenta. Body cavity lacks gills and stomach. The cord directly branches off into the intestines and major vessels once inside the body. Nervous system. Brain is completely absent. Nerve tissue stems from the thin notochord-like structure that is included in the arterial cord. Small eye spots are present on the distal upper appendages. Other comments. A system of interconnected glands fills the entire ventral thoracic cavity. These glands are responsible for secreting the specialized adhesive secretions that are then pumped through the upper extremities and out the distal orifices. Other lab procedures. Toxicology, photography, X-ray, microscopic examination. Disposition of evidence. Toxicologist, vitreous fluids. Lead investigator, clothing, equipment. Morgue custodian, body. Note, items not specifically stored in the lab 62 are to be incinerated. Dr. W.H. Summary. Body exhibits strong physical and anatomical traits with echinoderms, especially sea cucumbers. Though the body includes many independent systems, it is completely dependent on this cord for sustenance and direction. Control of the body is granted through the cord through some other intelligence, as it is evident how the neural pathway inside the body the neural pathway ends inside the body cavity but originates elsewhere. The body should be considered as a physical extension of this intelligence. This entity must be made of these same anatomical characteristics as A-1 in order to utilize and manipulate these extensions. This entity, if it is in fact a singular consciousness, would have to be extremely adapted to handling an enormous amount of input and output signals simultaneously in order to manage all of -A. Level 2 access required. Admin comment. Content moved to secure server. Verifying clearance. Verified. Initiating automatic protocol override. Generating temporary password. Your temporary password, Azure Cesium Salmon 21. Password is valid for 20 minutes. Oh fuck, I need that. Hold up. Okay, Jesus. Alright. Verifying password. Verified. Verifying clearance. Verified. Access granted. Client connecting to level 3 server 32. Request timed out. Request timed out. Request timed out. Client connection failed. Error 55-6. Client connecting to level 3 secure server 32. Attempt 2 of 3. Client connection established. Decrypting file. Decrypting complete. Opening file. MTF after action report. D2. SCP involved. XP 1264. MTF involved. MTF Tau 11. Date March 11th, 1999. That's my birthday. Location, wow. 15 kilometers north of the coast of the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Or Kauai, I don't know. Preamble. Engagement is authorized after a cruise ship is attacked by SCP-1264. MTF Tau 11, can openers, is dispatched to the area with 5 Pegasus-class hydrofoils and 1 Juliet-class submarine from Marine Command 09. CMS-3 was standby and awaiting clearance from the PHM Rapid Response Unit in order to launch its P-500 missiles without jeopardizing civilians. Upon arrival of the PHM unit, the cruise ship was on fire and taking on water while listing steeply to port. SCP-A was seen from a large opening on the starboard side, throwing fishing nets over the survivors in the water. I assume I just take care of this. I don't think this is our... This is a we both read, I think.
We'll see.
MTF Tau 11. PHM unit made contact with SCP-1264. While -A attempted to ensnare the survivors. PHM-7 and PHM-9 then broke formation to engage -A directly using their 76mm guns. -A was quickly suppressed as PHM-7 and PHM-9 fired alongside SCP's starboard hull. PHM-8, PHM-10, and PHM-11 fired their harpoon missiles directly into the stern of SCP from a distance of 750 meters away. SCP was hit and took damage to 2 of its rudders. SCP's port side turrets all turned 90 degrees to their 9 o'clock position just before SCP rapidly dove into the water. Afterwards, underwater explosions and floating debris were seen trailing off to the west. PHM-7 and PHM-9 investigate. During this time, CMS-3 made positive radio confirmation with SCP-1. See addendum. Behind the remaining 3 PHMs, SCP partially resurfaced just enough to expose its port side turrets. SCP was positioned with the PHM starboard hull directly in its line of fire. 6 of the port battery's 144mm guns fired into 3 PHMs, effectively destroying them. PHM-7 then relayed to CMS-3 that SCP was clear of the civilians. CMS-3 then launched 2 P-500 missiles targeted at SCP. SCP then began to move towards the capsizing cruise ship and fired 2 of its 410mm guns at the exposed bilge keel at a distance of only 175 meters. The ship exploded and splintered into several sections. SCP then plowed through the floating debris. The P-500 missile's active radar was unable to distinguish SCP from the wreckage and they missed the target. SCP launched Mark 14 torpedoes at PHM-7 and PHM-9. SCP collected the remaining nets of ensnared passengers and dove underwater for a second time. Both PHM easily outmaneuvered the torpedoes. CMS-3 was then ordered by Marine Commando 9 to track SCP and sonar and pursue. The remaining PHMs attempted to retrieve any survivors left in the water that were able to avoid the nets. Only 19 out of 215 bodies were recovered from the sea. CMS-3 lost contact with SCP 55 kilometers northeast of the incident. Addendum. During this incident between 1306 and 1310, CMS-3 made positive radio communication with SCP-1 over ELF radio signals. Below is the audio transcript between the operator and SCP-1 after its initial dive. You want to take the SCP, Mord?
No.
Come on.
Nuh-uh.
Do you want to take CMS?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Unknown contact. You are ordered to resurface or be destroyed. Do you copy? Unknown contact. Resurface or be destroyed. Do you copy?
The interlopers want my compliance granted.
Unknown contact. You have 2 minutes to resurface. This is an ultimatum. Do you copy?
Yes.
Go on. You got like a whole minute 50 seconds
Yeah,
left.
I was tempted to keep it going.
Unknown contact. Respond. Incredible.
Preparing to resurface. At this time, SCP-1264 resurfaced and destroyed 3 of the PHMs.
Yep.
Drown with me. Post-encounter summary. The survivors were debriefed and given Class B amnestics before being handed over to the U.S. Navy. A cover story was distributed through the media that the cruise ship sunk after suffering a catastrophic engine fire which killed almost all the passengers. A false investigation of the accident was also initiated in order to suppress growing public suspicion. Man, Delta Airlines sucks.
God damn it.
On June 8, 1999, SCP was reported and photographed by a fishing trawler in the Indian Ocean. Photos were intercepted and revealed that all damage done to SCP during Incident D2 had been repaired. Additional spending was later approved for MDF Tau 11 for expanding its fleet to include aerial support, acquisition of heavier armament, and installation of passive sonar buoys at strategic locations. Okay, I did really like this additional report.
Yeah.
This additional report kind of changed my whole opinion of the article. This one right here. This one sucked to read. I don't know what half of those words meant. This one was really good. I really liked this one. The whole temporary password thing was really cool. I really liked that.
Whoa.
The actual seeing an MTF in action for once is really cool. I think the last time we saw that was oh no, was it technically the chickens? Or not chickens, humans, the things that laid eggs and were like indestructible eggs.
Oh yeah, those things. It was
Yeah.
either that or it was fucking Kowloon.
Hamster. I remember hamster vividly.
Oh, you're right.
I think that's way far back.
That
I'm
was
probably just
way
looking at
earlier.
these,
I was thinking Walled City.
There's an ad break about to
Or-
start.
Uh,
The other one was 1861. The crew of the... Okay, how much bigger is this? That is pretty large. What do you say,
let's
Morgan?
fucking go!
Do you want to do this one?
I mean, I may as well.
Alright, cool. While we wait for the ad break, I'll be right back and make sure my sister doesn't think that I was like somebody knocking on the door when I pounded on my wall.
Huh?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm back. Is the ad break over?
No.
Damn.
No. Well, guess it is on their end.
Oh, cool. I'm glad
Not
that
for
it's
me. I
personal.
hate Twitch so much.
I love that it's personal. I'm gonna lean back while you read this one.
Yeah? Is this true?
I feel like I remember this one being done by the exploring guy.
Probably.
It sounds familiar, but it doesn't sound like one I found interesting. But I guess we'll see now when we're actually reading it ourselves.
Alright. Item number SCP-1861. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. If a manifestation of SCP-1861 is reported, Task Force agents from the nearest Foundation outpost are to reroute traffic away from the affected area and prevent civilian interaction with SCP-1861-B instances. A separate team must be deployed with the specific task of locating and preventing access to SCP-1861-A, as 1861-B instances cannot be destroyed with brute force. Diplomatic means of preventing civilian abduction should be undertaken if at all possible. Foundation misinformation agents positioned in local news sources and weather monitoring sites are to attribute SCP-1861 to irregularities in air pressure and large quantities of dust present in stormwater. Civilians who enter SCP-16 or 1861-A are to be declared legally dead, with causes of death attributed to common inclement weather accidents. Description: SCP-1861 is an anomalous meteorological phenomenon characterized by heavy precipitation and fog composed of salt water, human blood, and human cerebrospinal fluid. Great. I wonder what the parts, like the measurements for each of those is, and like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
need
know,
to know
cup.
about how long the average rain
What's the
drop
ratio?
is. How big is the raindrops?
Large.
But I think I do remember this one actually, but we're still going to keep reading it anyway.
Anyway, SCP-1861 manifestations are unpredictable, appearing spontaneously and with no regard to an affected area's natural climate and weather pattern. Manifestations typically occur once every 3 to 6 months and have been recorded occurring in numerous regions across the world. Historical records have confirmed that SCP-1861 has existed since as early as the year 1916. The size of the area covered by SCP-1861 varies from instance to instance, with the largest recorded affected area measuring approximately 5 kilometers squared. Aside from its manifestation, composition, and apparent connection to SCP-1861-A, SCP-1861 displays no additional extranormal properties. SCP-1861 is a single underwater marine vessel that closely resembles B-class boats used by the British Royal Navy in World War I. During each SCP-1861 manifestation, SCP-1861-A will attempt to surface in a body of water that is large enough to contain its full mass. Both normal and man-made bodies of water have coasted manifestations of SCP-1861-A. If no body of water large enough to contain the entirety of SCP-1861 is present, SCP-1861-A will surface in any collection of water with a surface area large enough to encompass its conning tower and topmost platform. It's really funny to think about.
It's just in a really big puddle.
It's just there.
Like, damn.
I mean, I guess that's what the picture there is. Even if the collection of water in question is only several inches deep, Lamau. SCP-1861-B are humanoid entities that emerged from SCP-1861 during SCP-1861 phenomenon. -B are dressed in full-body suits resembling deep-sea diving gear, with no discernible source of air supply. Instances of -B are uniform in size and possess speed and strength typical of an adult human male. Although most instances are sapient and capable of speech, approximately 9% possess limited intelligence and are only sentient. Instances that are incapable of verbal communication have been recorded making vocalization similar to the cries of domestic felines, canines, and infant humans. The diving gear worn by -B instances is anomalously durable and cannot be removed except by the instance presently wearing it. If an instance of -B encounters a human subject, it will attempt to persuade the subject into entering -A, claiming that this action would be in the subject's best interest. Subject refuse may or may not be forcibly taken to -A, depending on the temperament of the -B instance. Human subjects lured into SCP-A will re-emerge during subsequent SCP-1861 manifestations as B instances. If a B instance is taken outside of SCP-1861's area of effect, it will begin to experience accelerated fatigue and lose consciousness, becoming completely inert until reintroduced into SCP-1861. After a manifestation of SCP-1861 is ended, SCP-1861-A will disappear along with any remaining instances of -B. A similar phenomenon has been observed in SCP-3300, but no causal links have been found. Additionally, blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and salt water left behind by SCP-1861 will instantly convert to regular rainwater. Huge. Must be real nice to have to clean up after that, minus all the ships that get destroyed. Alright. Interviewed. An instance of SCP-1861-B claiming to be a member of the ship's crew. Interviewer. D-1861-36, receiving questions from Dr. Clutch via remote broadcast. Forward. D-1861 was sent into an SCP-1861 affected area and instructed to interview in a B instance. Heavy rainwater can be heard throughout the interview, and SCP-1861-B's speech is muffled by the diving gear it is wearing.
Who would you like to play?
I don't know.
I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to be the D class.
That's what I thought. Alright. Begin log.
Who are you?
Samuel Ramsey of the HMS Wintersheimer. We're evacuating the area. Please, you've got to come with me. You're in danger out here.
Why? What's going on?
I don't have any way to prove this, but I can tell you right now that you're going to die very soon unless you come with me. And that's not a threat, it's a warning. Something really, really terrible is about to happen here.
What? What's going to happen?
Listen, you've got to trust me on this. When this rain stops, you're going to die. I'm not kidding. You're going to die unless you follow me back to our submarine. You'll be safe there.
Just tell me what's gonna happen after the rain stops.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Look, I know this is going to sound insane, but this isn't regular rain. It's not from this world. There's another world. A horrible world, and it's leaking into this one. Don't look at me like that. You can see for yourself this isn't normal rain. It's thick. It's red. Please, you just have to trust me. I'm begging here. I'm trying to save your life. I've seen what happens to people after rain, and I'm trying to save you from that. Just come with me, and I swear we'll both survive this.
What kind of world is it? How long has this been happening?
Listen, I want to help you. I swear I do. But if you won't believe me, I have no choice but to go look for someone else who will come with me. I'm truly, truly sorry, but I can't just stand here arguing with you when there are other people out there I could be trying to save. End log. Interview log DOC 1861-2. Interviewed in another instance claiming to be D1861-46. I see. D1861-45 is the interviewer. Receiving questions from Dr. Clutch like last time. Okay. Forward. D45 and 46, adult males of roughly 30 years of age, had both been sent to a previous manifestation of 1861. During that time, D45 was instructed to avoid contact with -B instances, and D46 was instructed to enter SCP-1641-A. Heavy rain can be heard throughout the interview, and B's speech is muffled by the diving gear. Alright, who's who?
I'll take B this time since they have bigger dialogue. I will say, my choice here wasn't based on dialogue amount. I purely didn't want to say this. That's the entire reason I made the decision. And
that
then
is really
I was
funny,
like, well,
but either way, that sounds
fuck.
about right. Alright.
I want you to know, it was not an intentional choice based on trying to limit how much I read. It was just a coincidence.
Alright.
I'll take B.
Okay. Begin log. How do I know that you're really Sal?
I can tell you that the code word is boy-RD. Is that proof enough?
Proves you've got his memories, at least. So, what happened after you went inside the sub?
The inside of the sub is pretty much just one long, narrow passageway. The thing was full of those diving suit people, along with a bunch of random folks from around town. It was jam-packed in there, you could barely move. It kept getting pushed further and further back as more people entered. The deeper I got, the more certain I was that I'd hit a wall at the end, but it was like that passageway just kept stretching on forever. About an hour after I first entered, people stopped coming in and the hatch was closed. Then, without any warning, the sub started filling up with water.
Wait, they tried to drown you?
I don't know, man. The water just kept rising higher and higher. People were screaming and panicking and knocking each other over. It was awful. The guys in the diving suits tried to keep everyone calm, explaining it was part of safety procedures. They gave out diving suits to the rest of us and ordered us to put them on. So we did. I mean, what choice did we have? People who'd brought their kids and pets were cramming them into the suits just to keep them from drowning to death. Makes sense. Oh, fuck.
That makes sense. So I guess you were all trapped down there for a while. For a whole another 6 months until the next blood rain thing happened.
Actually, we didn't have to wait very long at all. That's where things started getting really weird. Once everyone had the diving suits on, they opened the airlock and started letting people leave the sub.
What?
Yeah, we were told not to take the suits off yet, though. They told us that when we got out of the sub, we wouldn't be able to breathe without our suits, and that everyone we left behind on land would be dead. When I stepped out onto the surface, everything looked almost exactly like it had an hour ago. Saw the lake, the trees, the boathouses. Everything was there where it had been, but...
What? Had something changed?
It's hard to explain. I want to say that it was like everything was underwater, but it was more than that. It was like everything around us was part of the water itself. When you looked up, you didn't see a surface, it just went on forever. And the trees, the boathouses, they weren't solid. They were just a different sort of liquid. Even when you stood on the ground, it was kind of like you were swimming in it because the ground was liquid. Except you didn't actually have to swim, and even though everything was water, you could still tell there was a lake there.
as the lake was a purer form of liquidness. Sorry, am I making any sense at all here?
Not a whole lot, no. Hey, Dr. Clutch wants to know how long you guys were out there like that.
The whole 6 months, we lived like that, day and night.
Did anyone try taking their suits off?
Of course, especially at first, since everyone was confused and scared, but assuming someone took their helmet off, their bodies sort of... I think dissolve would be the best word for it. They weren't solid anymore. They just kind of turned into a mist and merged with the water that was all around us. They lost their shape, but you could still tell they were there, shapeless and floating.
How did you guys eat?
We didn't sleep either. We just breathed, passed the time by exploring and talking to each other.
Did you see any animals or other people?
Kinda. We'd see their bodies. They'd float 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and their hair and fur would move like it does when it's underwater. But they always kept their position, didn't drift away or anything like that. It's really, really weird over there, man. And all the dead things, humans and animals, were missing their eyes. Blood would just keep pumping non-stop from the sockets and then dissipating into the water around them. And their teeth. I can't just say their teeth were gone, because that doesn't begin to cover it. It was like someone took a bite out of their face right where their mouth should have been. Teeth, lips, gums, all gone.
And no explanation from anyone. What do the guys who had led you into the sub have to say about all this?
A lot of them said they had the same story we did. The blood rain came, then someone in a suit told them to climb into the sub, then bam, water world. There was this one guy though, he said he was the original captain of the sub. Herschel Guthrie of the HMS Winterheimer. Was how he introduced himself. Anyway, the guy was a loony one. Rarely ever spoke coherently. If you asked him about the sub, he'd call it his ark. If you asked him about the water place, he would call it the New World.
What did he say about the people with missing eyes and teeth?
He just said the Watcher of Eyes and Biter of Teeth deemed them worthy, in crazy talk like that.
How'd you end up back in the real world?
It was pretty sudden, actually. One day, a bunch of guys started yelling for everyone to make their way back to the submarine. Said that another area was getting attacked, and we need to rescue as many people as possible.
Right? Weird water dimension, mangled floating corpses, infinite submarine. Got all that, Dr. Clutch? Great. But now, why haven't you taken off that suit already, Sal? Sal?
I'm scared, man. I don't know what's real anymore. Hell, I can't say for sure if I'm really even alive. You have these diving suits that wander around, moving like people, but barking like dogs and talking like toddlers. We aren't what we used to be before we put on the suits. I'm sorry, man, I don't understand very much of this, but given what I do know, I honestly don't think that we're human anymore.
Dr. Clutch says you've got to take off the suit. For science and all that.
I'm just so scared. If I'm not human, what am I? If I take this helmet off, what will I see? Before, when we were in that storm together, the guys in the suits told us that we'd die as soon as the rain stopped. And you know what? During the time I spent in that water place, I found you. Teeth missing and eyes gone. I saw your dead body. And I thought maybe those guys are right. Maybe everyone else really is dead. And here you are in front of me. I don't get it. I don't know what's real, man.
Well, what else are you going to do? Get back into the sub and live in SeaWorld for the rest of your life? Who knows? Maybe it's not too late to get back to normal. If I were you, I'd think death was better than whatever hell you're stuck in. Just take off the suit already.
Okay. Here it goes.
End log. Closing statement. SCP-1861-B removed its helmet and large amounts of seawater began to pour from the suit. No body was found inside, but 2 human eyes and a set of teeth were recovered from within the diving suit. Testing performed on the remains revealed that the eyes originally belonged to an 8-year-old female and the teeth of a European red deer.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one was really good.
I
really
I
liked the
have
extra
seen
logs.
this one before.
Yeah,
It's still a fantastic article.
it's a good article. I think there are more logs on it, but I'm not sure.
But like it's an implied hive mind then.
I don't think so, not at all.
I mean, then how the hell did other parts get into that suit?
I mean, hive mind isn't what I.
Not
Hive mind.
not hive mind,
It's a
but
weird mind.
it has a pool of consciousnesses that it pulls from.
Yeah, it's got a holy grail.
Sure, man.
Sure, man. Whatever you say, bro.
Listen, you can use those stupid fucking things for just about anything. I've got like 10 I'm sitting on.
Ooh, the Kirk Lawnwood High School Marching Band, I think, is good.
Oh,
We want to call it here for today. That 2.5
Rest in peace,
hours
Sal.
of reading. That's pretty standard for our SCP readings.
yeah, I'd say
I
we
think
could
that'd
do
put
that.
us
That
in
way...
a pretty good spot because, like, next time we'll probably get about
oh
this
boy, we've got
much.
God not too far down the list.
Yeah.
Also Lilith before that.
But
Also, shoutouts to
if we can get about
150
this much in the next stream, then we'd all... I like setting up the kind of, like... We've got
Yeah.
one before, like, a kind of noteworthy one. And that way, like, when we start stream, we get one in, and then we have, like, an interesting one that we're, like, fairly sure will be good. We don't end up with a cool t-shirt to, like, Paper Crane.
You take that back.
Paper Crane.
There's little dog in that list that you just pointed out, you sack of shit.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that about the little dog.
Anyways, I, for one, am personally looking forward to 150 3.5-inch floppy disks.
Great.
Anyway.
Alright.
Bye.
Oh, what are my
Bye.
little chickadees doing?
Why are you
We're about to
here,
close
Jocko?
stream.
Wait, is this SCP stream?
Yeah.
Was.
Well, what we're
Oh,
about
are you
to, we're
streaming right
literally about to end right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Bye.
Goodbye, stream.
Goodbye.